Hey goodies, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who have already subscribed, if you have not subscribed, please go ahead and click that subscribe button so you can continue to receive my keto tips and tricks and delicious recipes. I'm not even going to waste any time today because there's so much to share. So I'm starting out my day with a matcha green tea latte. You guys know I love these, and I have shared my recipe of how I make mine in several of my videos, so you can go back and check those. But I just wanted to show you exactly what I'm eating today. So yeah, I'm having a matcha green tea latte, and I'll be sipping water along with this throughout the day until I feel hungry. So I'll see you back at my first meal of the day, a meal that I chew. Yeah, all right. So I'm feeling a little snackish, so I'm going to go ahead and have my first meal of the day. I decided to make something quickly, and it's going to be a ham and cheese roll up. I'm kind of winging it. So I got 2 slices here of Gouda cheese, one of my favorite types of cheese. I'm going to let that melt down until I start seeing a bit of brown around the edges. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to add some onion for some crunch. And now I'm going to add 2 ham slices. I know on keto we try to watch out for our ham because they tend to have sugar in them, so I'm only going to use 2 slices of ham per roll up. Now I'm putting on a little bit of mayo. You guys know I love Duke's mayo, and of course I'm adding tomatoes for some freshness. And I'm gonna go ahead now and roll them up. If you're going to be using this recipe, just be aware that you have to let your cheese cool a bit before you start rolling them up. So yeah, this will be my first meal of the day once I'm able to get it off the pan. And it looks hard, but it's not. It's actually soft in the center and crunchy on the outside, which is perfect. But I'm gonna eat this, and I'll see you back at dinner. So for dinner tonight, I want some fish, and I think I'm going to make some coconut curry salmon. So I started off by washing off my salmon with some lemon juice and water, fresh lemon of course, and now they're prepped and ready to season. First, I'm going to use some all-purpose seasoning. I will link the type I use below if you're interested in trying the same kind. I'm also going to hit it with some seasoned salt, just to give it a little bit more flavor. And then I'm also going to hit it with some garam masala. I told you guys about this seasoning when I was making my barbecue ribs, my keto barbecue ribs. Check that out if you have some time. And now I'm also going to add a little bit of jerk seasoning and olive oil. And now I'm going to rub this all around very gently. I'm being careful not to break the fish. It may not seem like it because it's going fast, but I was very gentle with the fish not to break them. I let my fish marinate for no less than an hour, and then I added them to my hot pan, and now I'm going to be flipping them over. What I'm trying to do is just brown both sides of the fish. I'm not cooking it all the way through. I'm just browning both sides like I would do my meat. But I'm just browning them gently and then flipping them over, and then I'll go on to make my liquid base. And don't worry about the skin coming off. We're not really big fans of the skin to begin with, so this is not a bad thing. So after they've browned enough for me, I'm taking them out the pan, and now I'm going to go on and do this again with the next batch of fish, and whatever is left in the pan, we're going to work with that. So you see here there's goodness at the bottom of the pan, and we're going to use that. So now I just sprinkled a little bit more olive oil, and now I'm going to put my curry on top of that, and I'm going to brown my curry. Well, burn, we call it burn in the curry. And to that I'm going to add some onions and some peppers, and I'm going to toss them around and making sure that my pan is staying hot this whole time. And then to that I'm going to add some coconut milk, and this is going to be the major component of our liquid base. And guys, I'm telling you, it gives the fish such a nice taste. I'm adding a little bit more all-purpose seasoning because we added quite a bit to the pot. We have to season what we've added. So I'm going to go ahead and move our liquid around just to get up whatever has stuck to the pot. We're going to use that now as seasoning for our liquid base. And now I'm going to add all of my salmon back to the liquid, and then I'm going to let it cook face down just to get the juices going into the fish. And I'm going to let that cook face down for a little bit and then flip it over, and look at that, guys. It is so beautiful, and can't wait to dig in. And you see here that I did not cook my vegetables all the way through either, because I like to have a little bit of crunch. I don't like them soggy. So yeah, I'm going to continue to flip my fish over into the liquid and let that cook down just for about 7 to 10 more minutes, and then I will plate it. But yes, look at that delicious goodness there. Coconut curry salmon. I cannot wait to dig in. So this is how my keto salmon dinner turned out. I steamed some rice cauliflower in a bag and I added that as my side, and guys, it was so delicious and very filling. But yeah, let's go on now and make some dessert. So for dessert, I'm going to be making some keto strawberry shortcake bites. I really love having this around in the house as a little snack. What I'm doing right now is tiering my scale. So I put my bowl down, zeroed it out, and then I started adding my fruit. Now for keto fruits, I'm very careful with them because you can easily go overboard in terms of ingesting carbs and sugars. So I'm going towards about 150 grams of these strawberries, and that's going to give me about 12 grams of carbs from the strawberries for the entire batch. So that's 12 grams of carbs for the entire batch. I won't be eating the whole batch by myself, and I won't be eating the whole batch in one day. So this is perfect, and they're not going to be whole in my strawberry shortcake. I'm going to be cutting them up, but I just wanted to make sure I didn't go overboard with them, so that's why I'm weighing them. And I suggest you do the same with your keto fruits. Check out the macros for them, do the math, count them out or weigh them so that you don't go overboard and then knock yourself out of ketosis when you're including them in your keto meals. Now that I have my math and my strawberries out of the way, I'm going to start preparing my wet ingredients. So I'm going to separate 5 eggs, and here you see I have the egg yolks here, and to that I'm going to add about a tablespoon of vanilla extract, and to that I'm going to add about a teaspoon of cake batter extract. You don't have to add that, that's totally optional. And now I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of butter. You guys know I love ghee, but you can use whatever type of butter you like to use. To that I'm going to add half a cup of Swerve. You can use erythritol, and I'm adding just a little bit more Swerve because I like it sweet. But you don't have to. You can add just half a cup. And then to that, I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. And I'm going to make sure that my cake is super moist. So that's why I'm doing that. And I'm going to mix up all of my wet ingredients, make sure that they're equally incorporated. And then we're going to go on to prepare our dry ingredients. So here I'm going to add 2 cups of almond flour to my dish, and then to that I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of coconut flour, and then to that I'm going to add 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Yeah, I got a little eager there. I was going to start mixing before I added my baking powder. But yeah, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. And I'm going to mix that all up. So now that our dry ingredients are all incorporated, I'm going to add it slowly to our wet ingredients. We have not touched the egg whites yet. This is just the egg yolk and all of the other wet ingredients. So yeah, so I'm going to slowly add all of our flour and dry ingredients to our batter and continue mixing periodically until they're all equally combined. My batter is starting to get a little thick, so I'm going to switch from this device here to a fork because it'll be easier for me to mix. I'm going to add the remainder of my dry ingredients, and off camera I added about 2 pinches of pink salt. So you can also do that. That will bring out the sweetness as well of your strawberry shortcake. So yes, I'm going to just incorporate all of the ingredients there, and then we're going to go on and we're going to fluff up our egg whites. And here I'm using a mixer. If you don't have a mixer, you can use your hands, but it's going to be a lot harder to do that. So here you see I had stiff peaks there in my eggs, and now I'm going to add my strawberries that I cut up. So the strawberries from the beginning that we weighed out, I cut those up, and now I'm going to add that to our mixture that we have here, and you see it seems really thick. don't be afraid, because now what we're going to do is add the eggs that we whipped up. We're going to slowly add that now into our batter, and you're going to see it slowly liquefy. And this is going to give our strawberry shortcake a very fluffy texture. It's going to be just melt in your mouth goodness. You don't want to rush this process. So just add it slowly until you have a batter that looks liquidy like this. It still looks a bit thick, but it's more liquefied than it was before. And guys, you are not gonna want to skip this recipe. It is so good. I love it. It's a repeat in my house, and I love to eat it. My husband loves it. The kids love it. You already know how it goes. I test my recipes based on how my family reacts to it, and they love it. So here I am buttering my cupcake molds. I will leave a link below for something similar if you want to. It's perfect for measuring out your keto treat so that you don't overdo it. So I like using this for my keto treats so I can count them out and measure them out properly. And here you see I'm using the ice cream scoops. I'm using the smallest one. If any of you ordered the ones that I like to order, I use the smallest ones to do that. So you can do this as a cake if you don't have these cupcake molds, but just know that you're going to have to watch the time and the temperature at which you cook it. So I'm going to have my shortcakes cooking at 350 degrees. I have my oven preheated right now at 350 degrees, and I'm going to cook them for about 40 minutes. But if you do this as a cake or even in a loaf pan, you just have to keep watch of your oven, and you can do it at 350 degrees as well, but just keep a watch at it. When you start seeing it brown, or when you stick a knife in and it comes up dry, you know yours are finished. So these are how mine came out. These are fresh out of the oven, hot, and I'm going to show you here how they look. Absolutely delicious, glossy on the top. You see the little fruit bites in there. Oh my gosh, and it smells so good. These are strawberry shortcake bites, and I'm going to cut it here just to show you the fluffy texture. And it's not eggy, it's not any of those typical keto treat problems that we have. It tastes like strawberry shortcake, absolutely yummy. And I have them measured out perfectly so I don't overdo it. I'm gonna have about 2 more of these. But the last 2 that I have, I'm going to have them with icing. So here I'm just putting about a tablespoon of powdered erythritol or powdered swerve, and to that I added about a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then a tablespoon of heavy whipping cream, and then I added about a tablespoon more of powdered erythritol just to thicken up my icing. I was totally winging it here, but what you do is just essentially add powdered erythritol and heavy whipping cream and vanilla extract, and you have an icing. So here I'm icing our beautiful strawberry shortcake bites, but I waited just a little bit until they cool down. Do not do this while they are hot, or they're just going to break apart into your icing. So if you want to eat it without the icing, by all means go ahead and do that. But if you want it just a little bit more sweeter, you can go ahead and add this icing to it. You also can have it with whipped cream, and that would totally be a traditional strawberry shortcake, because then you have the whipped cream, your strawberries, and the cake. But here I made an icing so that I can just pick them up and snack on them when I'm ready. And I'll probably have 2 or 3 each time that I'm snacking. So that's all the yummy keto goodness I ate today. I hope this was helpful for you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.